Effective. Shit. Oh, fuck, I gotta scoot this out even more. Shit. It's fucking kinda like not stable here. Yeah, hold on. So it's like it doesn't quite. I gotta. Okay. Just scoot it. Fuck. It's like it's way too. I'm trying to. Just fucking shit. Now that is not balanced at all. I didn't fully look into this. Let me just stay calm. Let's go. Let's see what we're looking at here. Prop it up. Don't panic. Don't puss out right now. Alright, well, that's pretty good. If you see the laptop, if you see the camera falling, careening, that is real. And it's because it fell. Alright. This one, the title's a little different. I didn't prepare as much for this. And this one's really more of a random stream. Don't expect too much. There's something I was pondering on. So I guess I could get that out. But let me get the recent news out of the way. I try to keep my people informed. There you go. That's what I would shout at the Pharaoh. Recent news, we got so Trump, he's still going about out there. He's going on the same plundering rampage they all do. Okay, so don't be fooled too much by that one. Let me get this out. All right. Get that out of the way. So he's getting rid of people's food stamps or something, or other. Something's going on, Obamacare or something. But, Obamacare isn't great, really, in the first place. If you actually look into it, he isn't helping much. It's actually the Mitt Romney plan, which, is a plan, but it's Mitt Romney's, Massachusetts fucking plan. So that's really, not much. And it didn't actually help much on that. Is okay. And then the alleged Charlie Kirk shooter. This guy, he's on trial. And, you guys know how I feel about that. If you don't, you can watch the other stream I had on September 11th, the day after the alleged incidents. And you can know how I feel about that. And I'll touch more on that shit here in a second. Because now it's getting real fishy. Because, the real psyop wasn't necessarily the event. It's the reaction, and now you're really seeing it's almost like Israel, when Israel started popping off and just murking kids on whatever left and right. They that was more of it almost exposed less Israel, because if you knew, what Israel's killing all the time. They'll kill all types of. They got all types of crazy shit. Google the Hannibal Directive if you're really interested in knowing the extent that they'll get to. But the point is, it gets really intense in there, and you gotta kind of. Now I'm getting. Let's share this. Whatever, but yeah, I would always make sure to watch the after effect of the psyop, because the real psyop, of course, Israel's killing all those people. But it's the effect when you see the news that you trusted not mention it, or when you see, all these people, all these truth tellers that, were using comedy as their fucking sword of fucking conquest against, the local partisan bullshit. But really, when things got real there for a second, things became high stakes. They, where were they? That's the real psyop, is that you were watching a psyop the whole time thinking it was real, thinking that they were actually trying to, maybe they were trying to inform you, maybe they care about the well-being of the people on planet Earth or whatever, stupid stuff like that. And yeah, so that's a That's a pretty fucking big one there. So that's what's playing out this Charlie Kirk stuff. I'll touch on that, but first let me just explain the thing. It's mostly clickbait, and that, I'm also gonna get in that. But the whites, I've noticed a lot of people notice, they're sort of, there's not as much pep in their step as there used to be, right? And that's sort of, you can blame that on a lot of things. That's the chemicals in the water, it's the fucking chemtrails, and you're right, and you're correct, but it's also, there was the Wigger. I'm seeing the demonization of the Wigger in real time here. And I feel like we're just forgetting the powerful players involved in deep in Wiggery. We have Eminem, Mac Miller. I mean, there's some real guys. I mean, I'm trying. You don't just want to toss out all of the Wiggers, because that is some. It's a lot of progress to make. It's almost a psyop, because I have this theory that really racial harmony, whatever they want to call it, was at its peak in like the early 2000s. Maybe not so much the late 90s, I mean, maybe the super late 90s, the whole OJ situation, the Rodney King situation, and the Central Park 5 situation. It all sort of, that one is a little bit hot still, but right there, early 2000s, it was peak. And what did we have in the early 2000s? A bunch of these Wiggers rocking around. Yeah, it's a psyop against true racial harmony. There's Wiggers, there's Don Lemons, there's all types of people that exist in the world, and we're supposed to walk around policing them, policing who they are and their personality. It's not for me, but I guess some people really enjoy it. But again, I think, you lose a lot of value doing that. Not just for them, but for everybody. Everybody really pays. Stan is a fucking term in the zeitgeist because one very powerful Wigger, indeed. Wigger. I don't know if the AI is going to pick it up. Then okay, that's fine. It sort of, I guess, leads me to this next one, the clickbait. State of YouTube. So I'm just going to touch on this one here real quick because, YouTube, I'm a fan of YouTube. I've been on here since like 06. I was, like literally day one, pretty much out here just watching random shit. There would be like, I mean, in hindsight, really disturbing stuff. I don't know if anybody remembers those like SpongeBob animations. Am I too far from like? They had these like creepy ass SpongeBob animations. They had like SpongeBob robs a bank and he like shoots these guys. It was super weird. It was, but I was there watching it, and it's a good enough time. Yeah, the point is, I've been here for a while on YouTube, just looking at the stuff, and I've seen it change over time. I've watched the the late night hosts monologues come in and start taking over the page, the trending for you, everything. Now it's all about what did Jimmy Kimmel say? Who gives a fuck? I'm not on YouTube. And Jimmy Kimmel saying, but there's enough boomers on there and all this, and so the thing changes and it becomes some type of boomer AI swill thing, But right now, what I'm noticing is even what's left of like a lot of these people on YouTube who are genuine, actual, real life people, allegedly. Who knows? But it's almost like at this point it's being pruned and groomed for like people who are not, how should I say, not critical thinkers. And I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna, blabber on about who's this and what's that, but you can name them yourself, and they're very, very fucking prominent. It makes you question a couple things. You go, wait a minute, who's wants it? And I'll just name one because this thing gets on my nerves a little bit. So I'm gonna name little singular Negro, FD signify. I swear to God, and I appreciate some of his stuff. Some of his stuff is good. Like literally, it's great stuff. Yeah, sure. then a lot of it is just the most irrational shit. Like he's still trying to say Kamala lost because of racism and misogyny. I'm like, are you talking about different Kamala? Like, did I miss something? Did I miss a thing? Because she didn't have a policy. She didn't have one policy. That's what did it. That's what did it. And then she came up with one. It wasn't crypto for Negroes for slavery or some shit. It was something crazy. I was like, is that what I'm supposed to? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to get some Kamala crypto. And that'll be okay. And then my ancestors will be pleased because Kamala, the Canadian Jamaican Indian, gave me some goddamn crypto. It's not a scam, I bet. That's great. Yeah. So that's why she lost. And she was also just co-signing the genocide. I mean, can I say genocide? Can I even say it? Now we're getting into the other parts of YouTube being broken. You can't even just say shit. People would say horrendous shit on it, and they always do. They still do, but if you can say it without cursing or using the bad words, then they'll let you go ahead and say whatever horrendous shit you want, which is fine. I'm pro that, but I'm like, let's not pretend I'm not saying the same fucking thing, you know. But then that's the whole fucking fuckery of it. He has a lot of these guys, and they push him into the algorithm. You know, I'm not gonna, get started on, Josh Johnson and all these people where I go, ooh, and so they're not even proficient in their field, like they're not even. A comedian isn't funny. He's being pushed in the algorithm. Yeah, do you get that? Who's the biggest one in the algorithm right now? Like, so it's what you're seeing is a complete shift towards, a sustainable ad market. It's not necessarily anything else, and the AI is safe. The whatever else is safe. Josh Johnson's are safe. FD blaming Kamala's loss on racism, misogyny, which I hope he got paid for. I hope at least they paid him good money. But more than likely they didn't. Because why would they? They just can find the person who is really that non-critically thinking and then fucking toss them in there in front of everybody's fucking face to get the other non-critical thinkers at least, and then everybody else just gets angry. So, I guess that makes sense. And that's not just, left. I'm calling these are people on the left, but Ben Shapiro. Like, who do you think these guys are? You think that guy's smart just because he talks fast? Like, it's really crazy when you see these people. Like, who do you think this person is? Why do you think they're here? And why are they telling you bullshit? And you start to realize there's a larger structure at work where they want you saying dumb shit. They don't want anybody up there who's making people think. They want you saying stupid partisan shit. Even though you're living in pure swill, piles of horse shit up to the fucking neck. Right? You're not going to see anybody mention that shit. And you're not going to see more, and you're definitely not going to see anybody, really in that shit. They also make sure that's another level of the side where they make sure to not show you those people. I was just thinking, like, man, it's such crazy fucking times right now. It's fucking difficult. You're watching all these people getting fucked up. And what do you see every time you open any algorithm, any screen? You see just some rich dickhead somewhere, just talking about just blabbering about their bullshit, yapping about their horse shit. And it has nothing to do with anything. You go, fuck, man, like they really just got us locked in here. And how many of these guys do you really need, right? You get one influencer who 50,000 poor fucking peasants watch. And then how many of those guys you need? Over the 300 something million people. You get a couple thousand maybe or whatever, 100, who knows, to fucking cover everybody. And now you only need to support these guys while you pillage 50,000 per one of these guys. I'm not going to get too deep into the side, but there's a reason they show us the things they do. Not only are they dumb, but they're living well. And you kind of go, this person tells me stupid shit and then lives like a fucking kid. You go like, what? How is that possible? And you don't see anybody who's thinking with their fucking brain up there. It's really crazy. You go like, and they don't want you thinking, they don't want you having shit, but they want you to look at people having shit so that you think having shit is possible, but really this person was kind of selected based on their safety to the people who have things, because they're dumb and because they're not going to think about it, they're not going to speak about it. They're not going to, do any of that shit. So what you're really seeing is this construction of this fucking simulation of an actual of real life, where it's getting much rougher. And I mean that, like, anybody being pushed in the algorithm is fucking stupid. So the algorithm apparently wants me to be a fucking Candace Owens viewer. Like, that shit is pushing that shit on me like crack. Like, for real. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, please. It's like just one hit. Just one. I'll give you first 10 hits are free. I'm going, that's too many hits to. I don't want any. Okay. I go, like, I don't want any of that shit. But it keeps putting it in the algorithm. And what I've noticed with Candace Owens, and I don't give a shit about Candace Owens. That's where I stand. I'm like, I'm right here. And that's a very unpopular opinion, because people want you to either be very pro or very anti. I don't give a shit. I want to stop seeing her in my algorithm. And what I've noticed with Candace Owens is she is, and this will segue into my, maybe I shouldn't say it's a segue. I'll just segue into it. Okay. Pretend, all right, fuck it. Candace Owens and these, conspirators of mainstream, non-mainstream media, or non-mainstream, mainstream media, whatever you'd call these fucking people. They're all at this point just conspiracy gatekeepers for everybody else. Now they draw the line of what's fucking crazy, and they're not really too informed either. And they're not too rational, they're not too anything. It's like, you're watching it be drawn out in real time. And I don't just mean Canada. You see this wherever they're not entertaining certain conspiracies that maybe I personally propagated on this channel, which YouTube, please don't get me for that. I mean, I don't know what the rules are. I thought it was a good story. It's a great story. But the point being, if they're willing to just show you these conspiracies, here's these conspiracies only, and anything beyond that threshold is insane, then you are being gate kept into a certain fucking logic thinking area where you cannot leave, because if you get beyond that point, you will have uncovered their scam and their fucking trick. Okay, so that's what Candace is up to. And every time I see that shit, I go, that is such garbage. And now she's becoming the news. Now they're trying to make her the news cycle. I'm like, I don't give a fucking, like, and that's the most brutal part, is when you genuinely, you don't want to see, you just go like, why is this here again? Like, you're like, it's like, it's fucking haunting in a way. But she just keeps popping back up, and I guess the algorithm wants everybody to be a fan, but I'm telling you right now, it's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, it's absolute horseshit. And her conspiracies don't even make sense. As far as the George Floyd one, look, does it take 10 minutes to overdose on fentanyl? Is that what the story is? Okay, and I'm not even a guy that believes George Floyd is fucking dead. I'm just going, are we that lack of critical thinking is that far gone that you just hear that shit and you repeat it and you don't give a fuck, even though it logically, who have you seen? Like, you've seen the videos of people touching the shit, falling up. The guy's yelling for 10 minutes about it. And I don't even think George Floyd is dead. Now that's where I'm fucking at, because if they want you to focus on it in the news, it is bullshit. Okay? One, guaranteed. Who gets choked out for 10 minutes? That also doesn't make any fucking sense. None of it, they want you. And now this thing is, who knows where this stream is going to go now. All right? That's what I'm saying. They try to funnel, that's conspiracy gatekeeping. They still want you to think the thing was somehow real through their even dumber explanation, really. I'm like, no, that also doesn't make any sense. You have to be able to, even when they're telling you something, it sounds convincing or fascinating, think for yourself. Think critically. So, not to blow the lid off that one, but I've never seen anyone, obviously die for 10 minutes on either of those things. Yeah, that's, maybe. Okay. I get this there. It sounds conspiracy gatekeeping. Yeah, especially on this. So this Charlie Kirk shit is what brought up most of this conspiracy gatekeeping, as far as that. To me, into my context, where I was like, holy shit, look at these guys desperately trying to pretend like this was a real thing, even with all the evidence in the world. Candace Owens herself said there's no blood after a man was shot in the throat to death. There's no blood behind the thing on the camera behind him. She allegedly she saw it, but this is news that I'm getting from other news sources that are reporting on her news like it's news. It's fucking stupid. The point is, nothing happened. The thing was fucking fake. That's why there's not enough blood. That's why there's not enough fucking damage. That's why there's all these different stories so that you can run around with these fake ass dumb fucking conspiracies. Oh, it's a palm gun. Oh, he had a fucking lighter gun and he lit his cig. He fucking blew his head. Can you seriously? That's what you came up with. That looks, it's just like, and the thing coming out of his shirt clearly. You're going like, okay, now they're openly gaslighting people. I don't even like using that. But now they're just openly gaslighting people about the Charlie Kirk conspiracies and what they are. And this is in a lot of trusted sources, a lot of semi-conspiratorial. I can name these guys. I'll name the guy. But, they come out here like they're truth speakers. And again, it happens again. I give them, some credit, but I'm going, I really don't think, we don't think they would pull a fast one on us like this, or we just believe it because it's on TV. And remember, Donald Trump pronounced Charlie Kirk dead. Nobody else. That was the word we took for it. And there's no fucking autopsy, and there's no, how deep we got to get, or are you just gaslighting me? And again, it's a very difficult game of retarded or compromised, and the whole time I'm sitting here playing this fucking game for the last however long. It comes down to the wire, and really, some people can be compromised on certain things and then let you in on others. All types of shit. But it's just like, can I take information from you or not? Yeah, it's like, one of these people, you're learning something. I'm not gonna quite name names, so I'm still on the case. I'm still on the case. All right. Fuck. Anyways, brings me my next thing, I guess. I guess. I was going to try to keep this one short, but I'm really firing through it. Spitting right now, so it just turned me up in the headphones. Yeah, so the next one, this will be one of my later videos. I'm really going to work on ironing it out, but the manufactured, man-made male loneliness epidemic psyop. I'm telling you, this thing... I'm blowing the lid right off this fucking thing, by the way. That one's pretty obvious. They made this fucking epidemic. They manufactured it in order to create soldiers to go die, be turned into hamburgers for Israel, basically. All right, so I'm just trying to explain this in very simple terms. They essentially, everything that led up to this, that caused this. And really, if you look at the scale of it, you're seeing something just like, profound. Pretty profound, because you start with COVID, and then you got the algorithms just sort of, radicalizing, dividing people, isolating them. And then you have video games, which video games was an interesting move because they got worse and less cooperative, less like able to play with, a bunch of people. So, when you really, and that's like a central general communal masculine whatever fucking play man place, but so this was all a very controlled destruction, demolition in order to create this epidemic. They know what would cause the epidemic, and what causes these guys to be in an epidemic, not these other ones. Is it because they're the other people's spaces haven't been targeted in the same way these? And they don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about the depletion resources. Basically, my point, if you've seen this guy Scott Galloway going around, and his whole fucking gimmick is basically saying your manhood lays on the other side of dying for the greater Israel project, and when you finally can achieve that, then you can move forward in your masculinity. And without that, then you're basically a huge pussy. You're basically gonna be a huge pussy forever, unless you can, of course, die for a foreign country. In a foreign country, in a foreign land. So, this is the hard sell he gives these lonely young men, which is that they're going to need this. And it's a part of the, I'm just going to give you the rough one. I don't want to expose my whole video. It's like, it goes in deep. But, even with the YN psyop in this one, where they keep trying to, if you hear this fucking mockingbird repetition of this term, like young men with nothing are the most dangerous, and they'll keep saying that, trying to villainize and demonize, vilify young men, so that they can do what with them? Shove them in a van, send them off to the front, put them in a fucking prison cell somewhere, call them YNs, and just fucking ship them off. And this is part of the villainizing of young men we're seeing right now. Again, nobody really wants to mention that. They just want to kind of kick in. Then they want to pretend like, hey, girls get good grades, so that's a good thing. When has school ever been an indicator of your intelligence? When is it not? You're an obedient, programmable, robotic humanoid. You're not a fucking intelligent, creative, independent, charismatic fucking creature. You're fucking, and I'm not trying to be made. I've never believed in school. It's not like I suddenly, because girls, are in it. I'm like, I always thought you were a dumb fuck if you thought you were good at school. Good at school? Would you show up? Would you sit when they told you, and you gave them a paw, and you got patted on the head, and then you got an A+. Congrats. It's like, what a genius. Let me shake your dick for you because you're a fucking asshole. Who gives a fuck? Right? It's bullshit. And it still is. They didn't change that. But yeah, basically, without then they're gonna try to implement this whole story without this narrative, without really addressing why men don't have resources, why they have nothing, why they are alone. They're just gonna call them the most dangerous group, and then come and go get them, I guess. And everybody knows. Let me just cut to the end a little bit. A population without a young male population is pretty much fucked. If you want to control it or whatever you want to do with the fucking place, you can do whatever. So it's a crucial part of really being able to instill your will on everybody else. Okay, if you want me to cut to the end, let me cut to the end. All right. Believe me or not, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm here to talk shit. This is all comedy. Some of the best comedy in the world. Funnier than Josh Johnson. Be bigger than Josh Johnson. Okay? So, I want you to remember this now. Cool. And, yeah, it's manufactured to get to this point. Prisons and war is where they're going to try to send you. So get out of there. All right. Now we're closing it up. I was going to keep this one short, Let's keep it all fired up here. But this one, I'm just going to be talking about my video release schedule. Saw the trailer. It's a nice trailer. I liked it. Just touches on the thing. And it kind of predicted this whole Zoran Trump meetup, and just the time we're in right now. It really encapsulates it gets the idea. It's really special. But yeah, then I was gonna start the fucking thing on Thursday, like it was gonna be Thanksgiving, and I just decided, I was like, fuck Thanksgiving. Yeah, I like Thanksgiving. Yes, I can. It's on a Thursday every year, every time. And yeah, then it turns out Christmas is also on a Thursday. So I'm just gonna be, maybe I could. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna save this season until 2026, and then put it up like that. Yeah, keep a close eye to, because this one's something like the most. I did a lot of writing on this one. This one's gonna be informative. It's just a fuck ton of writing. Like I've outwritten my production by a good margin. Okay, and try to keep up with me. Big words. But yeah, I probably have like, holy shit. Fuck, holy fuck. Probably have like 8, maybe a dozen videos ahead of, mine. And I try to select them based on what would be most privy to the times right now. Or, or whatever I'm feeling, really, But yeah, we'll see how that this shit shakes out, because what the fuck. Damn, that's a lot of them. Yeah, yeah. And also doing stand-up in real life. I might just... Yeah, we'll see. We'll fucking see. That part is more, because I don't have too much cash. Also, I don't get paid from YouTube, so obviously, so my prioritization of YouTube is a little bit more laid back. But I do like coming just talking shit to y'all at this fucking thing. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking good. I do it for free. I do it for free when I can. I'm not gonna again, I'm not gonna practice. Video scheduling. So yeah, I'm just gonna be trying to fucking nail that shit. In 2026, this is like, I'll get into some predictions. Maybe I'll make that video before 2026 starts. Just try to, because I tried to do it last year. It's just a fucking lot. It's like, fuck. But I got a few. I'll give you just one. I'll just give you just one little taste. Okay? And I'll leave it at that. Of one of the predictions, all right, that you get, okay? Okay. Taylor Swift goes black. Oh my god! I didn't even like saying because I actually don't want these things to happen necessarily. I just know something when I see it where I go. And I hope it doesn't happen. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to, maybe I steered it the right way by mentioning it. Who knows? But point is, that's one of them. So if you want to see that one, you gotta let me know. Because I'm not prioritizing you. Yeah, I enjoy it, but I do it out of love of creating, creation. I'm not really these guys are, giving me treats and patting me on the head over here. Right? In fact, they're kind of kicking me in the fucking ass, everybody. I think it's because of the jokes I made about Indians and Israelis and there's all types of ones you're not supposed to, apparently. But but it kind of makes it the most fun. So you have to get in there, roll up the sleeves, start throwing them around a little bit. But yeah, male loneliness. I am. Okay, 2026. So yeah, the predictions for 2026. I'm like, I'll probably make that video. Really, 2026. I can already tell this one's just a freebie. It's gonna be a crazy. It's gonna be a crazy ass year. I can already tell 2026 is gonna be a crazy bitch. Right now, from here, from over here, I'm looking at 2026 crazy. I'm like, I hope everything shakes out and this and that, but and it probably will. I think it's just gonna be, I just know it's gonna be crazy. That's all I can really put on it. But yeah, it's gonna be the 250th year anniversary of America. Apparently, allegedly, that's a the Declaration. It should be interesting. But those things still fun. Oh shit. Yeah, all right. But in 2026, and I got a couple plans too. I might do a 6-parter over 12 months, so once every 2 months. But that's just a little. That's kind of a little long, but it'd basically just be, I don't know if I'd call it like 2026 is shit or something, and then 1 out of 6, and then 2 out of 6 in April, 4 late months. Who knows? Yeah, but whichever one works. But yeah, YouTube probably doesn't like that. I'm not the algorithm like, so yeah, I just try to stay away from it. All right, 2026. I'm really closing in fast. Shit, should stay in front, man. Damn, I didn't even use any clips or anything. I was gonna go through Rumble. Hopefully, you guys been going through. Some of those videos are very fascinating. Some of them, I don't agree with all of them. Till next time, go out there and get them, champ. Yeah, go get them. Go out there and get them, champ. They don't need the front lighting. I'm like just sitting here in the shade. It's cool though, but yeah, it's almost 2026. All right, so till next time, it's almost 2026. Go get something on. Shit.